Parents, stand up. You notice the sequence? God tells the children to obey, but now He speaks to us. We provoke our children. How do we shout at our children? We have a temper. We shout. We are unreasonable. We don't listen to them. We give them a certain curfew, which is impossible to keep. And they're trying to talk to us, but we don't listen. We exasperate our children. We provoke them. We're critical, always correcting. We have a standard that we ourselves can't even keep. We're hypocrites. Right? Sometimes we expect our children to be a certain way, but we ourselves, we tell our children you have to be on time. We're late. We tell our children that you ought to speak the truth. We speak lies. Hypocrisy provokes our children. We're selfish. We don't think about anybody else. We're thinking about what we want as a father or as a mother. And our children see through that. They see our selfishness. We are over-controlling. We do not keep our word. You know, when a child is young and you tell them something, anak, next week we're going to do this, and you don't do it. Maybe it's because you honestly forgot. But do you think your children forgot? No way. When they're young, they hold on to every single word that you say, until one day you have trained them not to believe you. We provoke our children by not speaking and not keeping our word. We have favorites. Daddy, this is his favorite. Mommy, this is her favorite. We know what happens when there's favorites. Remember the story of Joseph? It destroyed the family. Don't have favorites. Love all your children the same. We don't deal with issues. Guys, there's issues in my family. I need to deal with issues. I had to deal with one last week. If we don't deal with issues, we provoke our children. Guys, let's appreciate our parents. I'm not scolding them. I'm a parent too. I'm speaking to you and I'm speaking to me because I need this also. And look at the next part of the command. He says, don't provoke, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. To bring them up means to nurture and nourish them. And He gives us two tools: discipline and instruction. What instruction? Biblical counsel. We need to help give our children biblical counsel. That's the instruction of the Lord. What's discipline? Discipline is teaching our children at a young age, the earlier the better, that there are consequences to disobedience. I want us to look at this. How do you and I discipline as parents? First, we have to have consistent, say this with me, consistent, clear rules. Don't have vague rules, because your children won't know what you're expecting them to do. Have consistent, clear rules. Don't keep changing your rules. That's why you think about your rules. We didn't have many rules growing up. We had 2 rules: obey dad and mom, and respect dad and mom. If we disobeyed, there was discipline. If we showed disrespect, there was discipline. You have to be consistent with husband and wife rules. We have to be aligned. So if there is disalignment in your family dynamic, you have to sit down with your wife and say, look, I learned today to not provoke our children. We have to be aligned. So let us align. And then let us communicate what is it that we are wanting our children to follow. Number 3, can you say this with me? Consistent application of rules. Don't apply the rules so strictly today, and then tomorrow you have a different kind of application. Be consistent. If you tell your children that they have to be, for us it was, we had to take a shower at a certain time. Like, take a shower. If we did not obey our parents, let's say I kept on playing as a little kid, I would be disappointed. So I connected really quickly that I need to learn to obey. Sometimes we will give multiple warnings before we discipline. We have to be consistent in the application. If we're telling our children that we want them to learn to obey, we discipline for disobedience. And lastly, and most importantly, say this with me, consistent in our love. Never, never, never discipline in your anger. That is how you provoke your children. That is how you raise rebellious kids. And if we haven't been consistent in all of this, it's not the end of the world. We as parents, we know that we need to grow also. And children, you're going to learn how to honor your parents, even though we haven't always been the best example. But let's again appreciate our parents. We appreciate you guys very much. And this is to encourage you. You may now take your seats. So, what does honor look like? We know the difference between obedience and honoring. As you get older, we always have to understand that there is a way to honor our parents. You may not agree with what your parents are telling you to do, but this is how you can honor them. Number one, you respect them in your speech. Look at what it says in Exodus 21:17. He who curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. Some of us have literally cursed our parents with cursed words. But when she is old, have you guys noticed that your parents change? When they were younger, maybe they were a lot more understanding, a lot more kind. But somehow, some way, as parents get older, they can become more irritable, more painful with the way that they speak, more impatient, more demanding. And it is easy for us to now despise our parents. God is reminding us we have to honor our parents in every season of their life. You know, we have children, and we left our children to be watched by Jenny's parents. It must have been a couple of days. When we came back, Jenny's parents had suggestions on how we could improve our parenting. When your parents give you suggestions, and you're an adult already, sometimes it's not easy to hear the suggestions. But I praise God for my wife, because we understand that God tells us we have to honor our parents. So we actually appreciate the suggestions that they gave us. And we do our best to tweak the way that we parent. Jenny actually reminded me that she actually asked her parents, Mom and Dad, how can I improve as a parent? And you honor your parents by listening and learning from them. How else? By showing gratitude and value. 2 Timothy tells us, but realize this, that in the last days, these are the last days, the disciples believed it was the last days back then, so how much more now when we see everything that's going on in our world? In the last days, difficult times will come. Now read this with me. For men will be lovers of self, lovers of money, boastful, arrogant, revilers, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy. You know, gratitude is an amazing way to honor your parents. Is there one thing that you can think of that you're grateful for to your parents? Is there one thing that they taught you that you can actually thank them for teaching you that? A lot of people have very bad parents, but if you fought hard enough, I believe there is at least